You organize the sequence from 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We go to all the way to order number 24. Motion by Senator Veronica Maina.
Order number 24, motion, mainstreaming gender perspectives in legislative and policy processes. Resumption of debate.
Senator Veronica. Yes, Senator Chalege, you are on the floor to seconding the motion. How many minutes do you have? Proceed and conclude.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I was continuing to second the motion on the mainstreaming gender perspective in legislative and policy processes. Mr. Speaker, you remember in the last session, for some of us who have been lucky to be around for some time, Chief Justice David Maraga delivered a ruling, then or advisory opinion by the Supreme Court that Parliament was not constitutionally constituted because Parliament had violated Article 27(8) on the issue of a two-third gender rule, where we failed the threshold, Mr. Speaker, sir. And that brings a lot of quagmire, legal quagmire, that affected, Mr. Speaker, the role of women. And I want to congratulate Senator Veronica Maina, the distinguished senator, nominated senator, of course, and the SG Emeritus of the United Democratic Alliance ruling party for thinking critically. And that is why the role of women in this country and marginalized groups cannot be gainsaid, Mr. Speaker. And I saw the distinguished senator of Nyamira wishing his mother, I think, a happy birthday. And she is growing graciously. And the strength of men is in women. Mr. Speaker, there is a song sung by Shaggy that says, "Strength of a woman." And then there came a Nigerian singer, I'm forgetting the name, that says, "What a man can do, a woman can do it better and proper." Mr. Speaker, and even they said, beside, I don't want to say behind, beside every successful man, there must be a gracious lady. Mr. Speaker, the role of women in our society, most of the families, and I'm saying this because, Mr. Speaker, over the weekend, I joined women from AIC, Lelmokwa DCC, Mr. Speaker, and AIC Kamnyamisa DCC for that training, and I was telling women that they have a unique role in this country. Their role goes beyond the kitchen. Their role goes beyond the housekeeping. Their role goes beyond giving birth, Mr. Speaker. Their role is so unique that women from Beijing in 1995 have a role to sit in the governance and decision-making, Mr. Speaker. I must appreciate, Mr. Speaker, that women continue to play a critical role in leadership and governance. And I'm the biggest champion, Mr. Speaker. It has to go on record that last session, when I was the chair, and I wish my successor of Justice, Legal Affairs, and Human Rights would give you space, because, Mr. Speaker, he failed. Following up on the legacy, I left because when I was the chair of JLAC, I left a legacy report that the implementation of two-third gender rule must be implemented by Justice, Legal Affairs, and Human Rights. But I know Senator Sigei, as a good man, is a great champion of women's rights. I know he will ensure it is being pushed through and complied, Mr. Speaker. So women, wherever you are, we are proud. And just to present, I want to challenge women, Mr. Speaker. There is this issue of ongoing registration of voters. I want to encourage women wherever they are, go and register as a voter. And we challenge, Mr. Speaker, we challenge all the women, wherever you are, register as a voter and vote, Mr. Speaker, so that you can be part of decision. I want to discourage women, Mr. Speaker, from waiting for tokenism, Mr. Speaker, in leadership, Mr. Speaker. The only way women can stop that is getting registered, vote, and run for these offices, Mr. Speaker. That is when you will be part and parcel of, like what is happening in Rwanda, Mr. Speaker. Women there are doing very well, Mr. Speaker, because we hear some horrendous, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we hear some funny stories, Mr. Speaker, scary stories. That some political party honjos take advantage of our women and girls before giving them nominations, Mr. Speaker. We want to challenge, and I know it's not all parties, but a few, Mr. Speaker, who are errant, that are taking advantage, Mr. Speaker. The only way we can stop that is for women to go and register as voters in Meru, in Nandi, and across the country, run for those political offices, Mr. Speaker, become elected, and they can participate in the decision, Mr. Speaker. And that is why I'm happy. I saw, Mr. Speaker, in this Nico Kadi campaign, although it has been hijacked by some political tribalists, Mr. Speaker, who are trying to use it, this Nico Kadi campaign is very good because I've seen equally men and women are the one pushing Nico Kadi. I wish they would have remained neutral, Mr. Speaker, without being hijacked by political party who are trying to look for political, they are doing what you call political ambulance chasing, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me give the House the 2022 general election. Out of Mr. Speaker, in National Assembly, 80 women out of 345 members were elected, including 47, Mr. Speaker. This only translates to 23%. So National Assembly is unconstitutionally constituted because it does not meet the threshold of Article 27A, Mr. Speaker, 27.8, Mr. Speaker. Another 27.3 and 4, Mr. Speaker, that says women and men have the right to equal treatment, including the right to equal opportunities, political, economic, and cultural and social spheres, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for us who are Christians, it has to be noted that the greatest supporters of Jesus Christ were women. Even the people who visited first the tomb, Mr. Speaker, were women. Where were the men? They were still sleeping, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, or they were doing morning glory. Mr. Speaker, the point I'm trying to say is that the greatest supporters of the greatest supporters of Jesus Christ's gospel, who are acknowledged even if you read the Bible, Mr. Speaker, were women. They played a crowd role, Mr. Speaker. When the Jesus of Nazareth was spreading the gospel. So 80 women were elected in 2022, that reflects to 23%. This is against, Mr. Speaker, for members to understand, 49.12% of the registered voters in 2022, out of 22.1 million registered voters in Kenya, 49.12% were women. Despite that the population of women in this country, Mr. Speaker, is 50.6%. So there is still a challenge that women need to register. Senate, the members of the female gender in the Senate, female senators, are 28.4% against 67 senators, Mr. Speaker. MCS, we are doing very bad. MCS plus nominated and elected is 33.5%, Mr. Speaker. Only 6.2% of women elected MCS are directly elected, Mr. Speaker. I think in Nandi, I have barely a small number of directly elected MCS, Mr. Speaker. I know there are some region, I don't know whether it's based in culture, is it the thinking, Mr. Speaker, that the women are yet to be elected, Mr. Speaker, because I've seen it depends. Even, for example, Mr. Speaker, in 2007, and I want to challenge women because this issue of women gender parity, although we don't want to call it women issue, it's gender parity issue, Mr. Speaker. It is issue of gender. Even in 2007, Mr. Speaker, when even, Mr. Speaker, the issue of gender or women seats had come. I remember in Nandi, Mr. Speaker, we elected Dr. Sally Kosgei, who went on to become one of the prolific political leader in this country, and a well-read, Mr. Speaker, from Ivy League colleges and universities, and she was a former head of public service and a member of Aldai constituency, Mr. Speaker. Even there are a number of, even colleague Professor Margaret Kamar was elected, Mr. Speaker. There was a lady called Pepeana Mama in Eldoret South. In fact, Mr. Speaker, contrary to the belief that Kalenjins don't elect women, is a misnomer. Out of 15 women that were elected in 2007, almost more than a half were from Rift Valley, including from your county, Mr. Speaker. People like Lorna Laboso, people like Joyce Laboso, may they rest in peace, Mr. Speaker. And I was watching yesterday. Okay, I'm coming there, Mr. Speaker. You know I'm the darling of women senators today on the afternoon. So the show is mine, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, even Senator Joyce Korir has been elected, Mr. Speaker, from the lowest level, MCA, Deputy Speaker, the elected member of county in Bomet is now nominated senator. He has set our highs to become the member of parliament of Bomet Central, Mr. Speaker. Even Senator, and also mayor, she was also a mayor, Mr. Speaker. Even Senator Peris Tobiko was elected for 10 years, Mr. Speaker, in Kajiado, Mr. Speaker. And I set our highs to become the governor of Kajiado, Mr. Speaker. And I want to ask my friend Kato, since he is the State House Controller, and the President, we are giving him 2 terms, to just remain as a State House Controller so that we can give Senator Peris Tobiko, Mr. Speaker. Senator Crystal Asige, one of the prolific leader, she has pushed for a bill, an act of parliament, which was signed by the President. The rumor mill has it that she has set her highs for Nairobi women representative, but we'll know that one when 2020. Even my good sister, Mr.
Senator Cherargei.
Yes.
For purposes of housekeeping,
yes,
we have got system challenge in terms of timekeeping. So your time remaining is 3 minutes 45 seconds for purposes of that contribution. The chair felt it's important to alert you of that.
Mr. Speaker,
you may now proceed. You may now proceed.
But I had 16 minutes. Why is it that when I start acknowledging my female colleagues, Mr. Speaker, at the time is suddenly being switched off? And I wanted to celebrate Senator Miraj Abdullahi. Mr. Speaker, she is running for a member of parliament, Mr. Speaker, in Mombasa County, and we are proud of her. Mr. Speaker, what I wanted to say in short is that the issue of gender is very critical, Mr. Speaker. We must ensure that we factor the role of women, even in religion. Mr. Speaker, and a couple of days, I was attending an ordination of Reverend Emily Chelagat Chirchir as ACK Ajidikon of ACK Kapkumur Ajidikonary, Mr. Speaker. So we need women in leadership. I've seen even the ACK Church, Mr. Speaker, have ordained a Kattenbury, a women bishop, Mr. Speaker, to lead the ACK Church, the Anglican Church, Mr. Speaker. I also want to congratulate my good friend, Venerable Philip Kibrono Ruta, who was ordained as the ACK Ajidikon of Alda Ajidikonary. Mr. Speaker, the reason I wanted to mention this is we need to ensure that the mainstreaming of gender is not only on elective position, even appointive, Mr. Speaker. But I know the issue of appointive can be easily done, Mr. Speaker, and we need to ensure there is an integration, Mr. Speaker. And even people who are running for presidents, I want to challenge Senator Okiya Omtata, who has shown interest to run for president. He must tell us what he will do for women. I know what President William Ruto will do for women. I know he has done a lot in cabinet. He has made very good campaign. For the first time, we have an Attorney General, a classmate, I don't know whether it's classmate of Senator Okongo Mugeni, Douglas Odwar, who is the Attorney General, Mr. Speaker. President William Ruto has done very well in SHA, Mr. Speaker. Linda Jamii, where Linda women are integrated, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Cherargei, Senator Omogeni would like to inform you.
24 seconds.
1 minute, 24 seconds. Senator, Senior Counsel, proceed to inform.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir, I wanted to correct Senator Cherargei, or rather to inform him that Madam Dorcas Odur is a fairly senior member of the Law Society of Kenya. She joined the bar
many years ahead of me. And when you mention her name, you should also tell Kenyans that she was a distinguished prosecutor on behalf of the DPP for many years, before she was elevated to the position of Attorney General, one of the pace setters in the legal profession. But she was not my classmate because she's far, far senior than me. Thank you.
For that information, and I hope I will listen to the contribution by Senator Okongo Mugeni on this issue of gender and the role of women. Mr. Speaker, finally, because I fairly have a few minutes, is we need an audit. And I want to challenge the Jailer Committee, which you are lucky to be the chair, to do an audit. Let us know how many women are running for these positions, elective positions, Mr. Speaker. I don't want to say zoning. You know, the moment I say zoning, ODM and UDA people will start feeling uncomfortable, Mr. Speaker. I want to propose that let us do audit, Mr. Speaker. Let us encourage political parties to give space for women to run for these positions. Let us protect women from political violence, Mr. Speaker. Let us protect women from being categorized and being intimidated and blackmailed, Mr. Speaker. Let us give opportunity to women to serve in senior government positions, Mr. Speaker. Let's allow women to run the show, because a woman's mind is always about sharing, Mr. Speaker. And I want to challenge women to run for these positions. They are not limited. Kipchoge Keino said at 159, no human is limited, Mr. Speaker. I want to challenge women. Let us do accountability reporting. Mr. Speaker, after the passage of this motion, I want to challenge that your Committee of Jailer give us opportunity, and then we do NGEC. The National on Equality Commission should give us a continuous monitoring, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with those very many remarks, so that I can listen to my colleagues, we are proud of our women wherever they are, Mr. Speaker. What man can do, a woman can do better. We want to see more women in leadership so that this country can be. And I know today I'll be the most popular male senator in the Republic of Kenya after supporting women, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, and I beg to second. Yay!
Thank you very much, Senator Cherargei. Now, Honorable Senators, having heard Senator Cherargei second the motion, I propose the question that, aware that Article 27 of the Constitution of Kenya guarantees the right to equality and freedom from discrimination, with Article 27, Sub-Article 3, providing that women and men have the right to equal treatment, including the right to equal opportunities in political, economic, cultural, and social spheres. Further, aware that Article 27, Sub-Article 8 obligates the state to take legislative and other measures to redress any disadvantage suffered by individuals or groups as a result of past discrimination, and to ensure that not more than 2/3 of members of elective or appointive bodies shall be of the same gender. Cognizant that mainstreaming gender perspectives in all aspects of governance is essential to achieving inclusive development and safeguarding the rights and welfare of all citizens, particularly women, girls, and other marginalized groups. Concerned that the integration of gender considerations remain inconsistent across the two levels of government, and that legislative processes have often resulted to policies that do not adequately address gender-specific needs and realities. Now, therefore, the Senate, 1, urges Parliament, county assemblies, and their respective legislative committees to incorporate a gender analysis in the scrutiny of legislation, policies, programs, and budgets before them, including through the use of gender impact assessments and consultation with gender-focused stakeholders to ensure gender-responsive governance. 2, recommends that the National Gender and Equality Commission and the State Department for Gender develops clear guidelines and tools to support the integration of gender perspectives in legislative, policy, and budgetary analysis, and ensures these are disseminated and adopted by relevant government and legislative bodies. 3, further urges the National Gender and Equality Commission and State Department for Gender to collaborate with the Kenya Law Reform Commission and County Assembly Service Boards to build capacity for gender analysis among technical and legislative staff. 4, urges the State Department for Gender to submit to Parliament a comprehensive biannual report detailing actions taken by ministries, departments, and agencies to promote gender mainstreaming, key achievements, emerging challenges, and proposed interventions. And 5, resolves that the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare continuously monitor the implementation of these resolutions and tables biannual report on the status of implementation. Now, Honorable Senators, having proposed the question, the motion is now available for contribution by the honorable members. And just for purposes of housekeeping, I've seen the Honorable Senator Boni Halwale, Senator Mundigi, Senator Mungatana, and Senator Mazayo have queued on the intervention button and not on the request to contribute button. So the natural assumption is that you probably wanted to intervene otherwise than contributing to this motion. And if that is the case, yes. Very well, Senator Mugatana, the chair has noted that. So if your intervention and order is on that comment I made, I will work on the listing. I will therefore, Senator Joyce Korir, I will allow you to go first as I work on the requisitions by members.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this chance to also speak to this motion by one Honorable Veronica Maina, one of our powerful ladies who also happens to be in the Speaker's panel. I just want to thank Honorable Veronica Maina for bringing this issue of gender mainstreaming, which I know, Honorable Speaker, as it has been touched by the Honorable Cherargei, who seconded this motion. This gender issue has become a challenge. I remember, Honorable Speaker, when I was in the National Assembly, the ruling was made, and it is true that the houses are not constitutionally constituted, ranging from the National Assembly, the Senate, to the county assemblies. Honorable Speaker, this is an issue that I want to urge this House that we need to address, because matters gender is not only affecting the women, but it cuts across. Honorable Speaker, a number of countries have tried in terms of making sure that they observe and implement the issue of gender. And by so saying, Honorable Speaker, I want to mention the Parliament of Rwanda, where they have tried in terms of making sure that they give room to gender mainstreaming to an extent that women are in good position together with the men. Honorable Speaker, gone are the days when our women are taken for granted. They are no longer homemakers, as they used to think that the work of women is just to stay at home, look after the kids, look after their husbands. It is our responsibility as women. But I want to say, Honorable Speaker, we've been in leadership for some time, and still we are parents. And I want to say this, Honorable Speaker, we have families. sometimes there's a notion and a culture that has been built to an extent that people believe that women, when given chance, they tend to forget their responsibilities. Honorable Speaker, I stand today to speak of the number of years that I've served, together with a number of women here, and to say what men can do, women can do better. Honorable Speaker, not only that, I must specifically thank this government, led by His Excellency the President, for the efforts that he has given in terms of making sure that he tries to incorporate women in a number of ministries, in a number of sectors, and I can say, Honorable Speaker, without fear of contradiction, a number of women are performing exceedingly, Honorable Speaker. Look at the defense, led by one CS Honorable Soiban. This is a docket that none of us could believe it can be led by the women. But I want to say, Honorable Speaker, as we speak today, we've seen a number of issues that have, a number of policies that have been done in that same ministry, a number of changes that have been done, a number of progress that the same ministry is getting, Honorable Speaker. Not only that, Honorable Speaker, when you go to a number of schools across this country, you will not mention 5 schools without being led by a woman. What does this mean, Honorable Speaker? It means the women are performing, and we are not underrating the men. What we are only saying is that we are also up to the task as women. Let the women be given the chance. Can we stop violence? Some of us, we cannot fight even the young boys, but we can walk the talk. Honorable Speaker, I want to say that His Excellency the President has tried, and he has seen the importance of having women in a number of sectors. Not only that, even with this institution, Bunge, I remember the other day we were addressing a number of counties in the Committee of Cohesion, and we were checking on this issue of gender. And you find a number of counties are still failing. You find the issue of people living with disability. The requisite percentage that we are given is 5%, but a number of them are below 1%. Honorable Speaker, it was a wake-up call by the Gen Zs of this country when they raised an alarm in terms of employment. It gave room to these houses to make sure that they critically check on a number of ministries, the mistakes that were done before. I remember the number of counties always talks about the defunct councils. But there have been new employments that have been done. But still you find the issues of gender not being addressed. Not only in terms of employment, but also in terms of procurement issues, which I want to believe, Honorable Speaker, as we speak about and as we educate our women, as leaders of this House, we will make sure that as we raise these issues, at the end of the day, we will be able to see the change. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, I want to encourage all of us that we embrace the issue of gender mainstreaming, that we embrace all of us as a nation, meaning the women, the youth, people living with disability, and even our men. Can we work together? Can we compete equally? Can we be given a platform to all of us compete? Honorable Speaker, there is a culture that we've made and believe that nothing belongs to the women. And that is why most of the time when it comes to the political arena, you find the women cannot stand just because they have the policies, they have the knowledge, they have the ideas, but the problem is that they own nothing, Honorable Speaker, because of the culture. So it's high time that we embrace one another. It's high time that we enlighten our youth, our women, our people living with disability, and even a number of men, so that we can work together and build our nation together. Otherwise, I don't want to labor much, Honorable Speaker. I just want to say that I support this motion by Honorable Veronica, and I really request that the committee in charge should make sure that very positive ideas that are going to be raised in this floor are implemented to the letter. I remember the other day when you were trying to have an ad hoc committee to oversee a number of issues that our governors are failing. And this is one of the issues that I want to tell Honorable Veronica Maina that it should also form part of the discussion by the ad hoc committee to make sure that we don't discuss this issue year in, year out. Can we deal with it and make sure that it is implemented to the letter? Otherwise, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to support. Thank you.
Senator Boni Halwale.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you. And equally, like those who have spoken before me, wish to congratulate Senator Veronica Maina for this industry. Mr. Speaker, during a motion like this, it pays to listen to people who have the experience of living with a wife or wives who have the experience of growing a child or children, but more importantly, who have had an opportunity to grow children of both sexes. Mr. Speaker, why do I say this? It is because seeing and feeling it is believing. I must confess, Mr. Speaker, that when I was a young man, before I met my own family, I was naive on the issues of gender equality. But after I got my own boys and I got my own girls, Mr. Speaker, is when I realized the beauty of a girl child, the beauty of a boy child. They are so beautiful that it forced me to answer the question, why in gender mainstreaming? Why gender mainstreaming, Mr. Speaker? I'm these days persuaded, and forever, that it is through gender mainstreaming that you can give equal benefits to both girls and boys, men and women. It is also through gender mainstreaming, Mr. Speaker, that you can be able to prevent inequality. Which begs the next question. How? Mr. Speaker, I have learned that the strategic how is to ensure that whoever is the decision maker, be it in government, be it in parliament, be it in organizations, be it in cultural setting, that person must always endeavor to make deliberate, strategic integration of the principle of gender equality. And Mr. Speaker, you cannot do this unless you answer the third question, namely, where where do you do this strategic intervention to achieve gender mainstreaming? Mr. Speaker, again, I have answered myself and I said, fortunately, you don't have to strain to remember where should you do it. The answer is simple. Do it in all stages of life. That's all. The moment you do it in all stages of life, then you don't even have to think about it. You don't even have to remember. Mr. Speaker, if you do it in all stages of life, it means you gender mainstream in all programs, in all government and non-government policies. You do it when you are rolling out projects, and more importantly, you do it in cultural beliefs and cultural interpretation. Mr. Speaker, why do I say this? It is because there are some people who think that there is any African culture that is anti the girl child. All African cultures love their girl children. Mr. Speaker, what we lack is a proper understanding. Let me speak to the issue which is very sensitive amongst some communities, especially mine, the Luhya community, is the question of inheritance. Our culture is very clear on how a girl child, without struggling, will inherit land. They do not, in our culture, have to go to court at all. So that I'm not misunderstood by colleagues who are not lawyers. The lawyer culture says that they're the sons who will get land. However, when the elders sit, they then know how the daughter will benefit from the father's land. One. If, for example, the father of these children has got only daughters, then all his land belongs to the daughters with no question. And if he has sons and daughters, the land belongs to the sons, provided that the girl has a choice. What do I mean? If the girl, for example, is not married, or she's married and she's having issues where she's married, she's perfectly entitled to the father's land once she comes and reports that I have these challenges, and land shall be given to them. Mr. Speaker, I say this knowing that there are those people who want to hide in superficial understanding of culture to give the impression that, for example, the Luo community would not allow a girl to get a land, to get a piece of land. Far from it. Mr. Speaker, since I know my time is running, let me not forget to celebrate my daughter, Shangwe Anota Khalwal. Shangwe, despite the many sisters she has, despite the first brothers she has, with whom they equally have very good education, I take my children to school very well, she has stood out before the boys good. This month, Mr. Speaker, we not only celebrated Easter, but we celebrated Shangwe because Shangwe has been the first to write a book which has been published and we launched during Easter in Mombasa, Mr. Speaker. And the book, when I read it, it's very interesting what my daughter, how she came up with this. She calls it a journey through her 20 years. And you know, the girl speaks to that life of when girls are in their 20s and educates herself, her sisters, and fellow young women on the things that can make you find it difficult to progress. I truly celebrate Shangwe. And let me tell you, colleagues, the youth are ahead of us. I saw it at the University of Nairobi, School of Engineering, when my daughter was running to become a student leader in our School of Engineering. My daughter was running against classmates who were men, and I saw her classmates spend a lot of money campaigning, but all my daughter needed from me was a paltry 15,000 shillings for her to do her posters, and that was it. And she swept votes and votes from fellow girls and from fellow men, and from the men, a statement that our children have now gone beyond discrimination between the two sexes. So that I don't forget to thank God. God loved me so much, Mr. Speaker, that he wanted me to always remember that children are equal. And what did he do? He gave me more girls than boys. Although I want to request God, please add me a few more boys, because I still have the patience to take care of and grow even more children. Madam Speaker, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to conclude by appealing to colleagues that yes, our professions are very important, especially political career, that yes, our businesses are very important, especially the businesses of chasing for money. Please, please, move close to your children. Research, scientific, has confirmed that children who are close to their parents are more likely to be sensitive on issues of gender mainstreaming than children who are left to meander in life on their own without the directed guidance from the parents, Mr. Speaker. It is for this reason that I want to invite colleagues, especially Senator Veronica Maina. I saw you with my little girl, the one in school in London. When she finishes school, tell her as soon as she arrives in Fort Hall, which is today called Murang'a, she should look beyond Fort Hall, beyond Nairobi, beyond Nahuru, beyond Nakuru, beyond Kericho, to land her eyes in Kakamega. I have beautiful sons there, very well educated. They will make very nice husbands for her. I love children when they come of age, when they get married, the way my wives got married to me. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Senator Boni, did I hear you say the way your wives got married to you?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I'm very careful with my English.
Yes, that is actually the confirmation that the chair decided.
I married my wives. They got married to me. In Luyaland, it is not imaginable that a woman can marry a man.
Very well.
Yes, because a woman marrying a man, Mr. Speaker, with your permission, it means I partake of your culture and the culture I found in Zambia, where after marriage, you go and live in the home of your wife's parents. It's not imaginable in Luyaland.
Actually, the interest of the chair is about the plural, not wives.
Oh, it was wives.
About the semantics.
Why is it worrying you? You should be asking me how many.
Very well, Senator.
And then I tell you I'm still counting.
Senator Mundigi.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa nafasi niweze kusangia mjadala wa Senator Veronica Maina kuhusu mambo ya gender balance. Bwana Spika, tukiangalia katika nchi ya Kenya, na shukuru sana kwa sababu rais wa Kenya wakati alichaguliwa kipindi ya mwaka wa 2022 alijaribu na endelea kujaribu ndio kuwe na usawa wa kina mama na wanaume. Bwana Spika, mambo ya gender balance haijaanza saa hii, ilianza mambo ya zamani. Na tunajua Bwana Spika, hata katika Biblia ile ambaye sisi tunafuata sisi wa Kristo, tunajua katika Biblia akina mama katika Biblia wametanjwa. Haswa tunakumbuka mambo ya kuzaliwa kwa Yesu Kristo na kufufuka kwa Yesu Kristo, kwa ukufa na kufufuka kwa Yesu Kristo. Na kina mama wa kwanza kujua Yesu Kristo amefufuka ni Mariamu Mary Magdalene. Na mambo ya ajabu, wanaume walikuwa wamekaa pale, na wakati ile ilitokea hawakutaka kusema vile imetokea, lakini aliamka saa 12 akawacha wanaume wamelala na akaenda pale kuangalia vile usiku umeisha, lakini akaenda akaambiwa Yesu Kristo amefufuka. Yeye ikawa ingekuwa ni wanaume wangesema amepotea, ameimbiwa, na hiyo ndio ilikuja ikatokea. Kwa hivyo mimi naunga kazi ya kina mama katika mambo ya Kristo. Hapo tena katika dunia sasa, Anglican Church Archbishop mkuu ni mama ambaye anasimamia kanisa dunia mzima. Hapo wa kanisa pia katika Biblia kuna mama mmoja alikuwa anasonea akina mama na wazee nguo akatambulishwa. Lakini pia tunakumbuka Yesu wakati alienda jangwani alikutana akina mama, na pia hata Yakobo alikutana akina mama, lakini hakuna mahali tunasikia akina mama wamewekwa kando. Katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, nchi wa Kenya ni mama. Katika nchi yetu ya Kenya ambaye mkuu wa sheria ni mama. Katika county zetu 47, aswa county ya Embu, governor wa Embu County ni governor Cecily Mutitu Mbarire. Ukienda Kirinyaga ni governor wa Iguru. Ukienda Nakuru pia kuna mandamu ambaye ako huko, ambaye ukienda hata county zingine. Kwa hivyo hata hapa senator tuko masenata wa kina mama na tuko senator wa kinaume, na pia hata county nyingi akina mama waendelea kufanya kazi. Pia tukirudi nyuma kidogo, katika makanisa nyingi, kanisa ambaye inaongea mambo ya umoja na mambo ya kwenda mbinguni na mambo ya ukapa katika dunia hii, wale wamesikilia hiyo laini ni akina mama. Kwa hivyo hakuna tofauti ya kazi ya mwanamke na mambo ya kazi ya mwanaume. Tukiangalia kwa familia zetu, tumeona wakati wazee ama akina mama wanaseeka, unakuta zamani tulikuwa sema watoto wetu wasichana wafanye kazi njia ile nafaa, wakae vizuri, mali yote tunapatia tunapatia vijana wetu. Lakini siku hizi ukipatia, tumeona wale watu wamepatia mali akina ndanda wameweka vizuri, na baadaye wale vijana wamepatiwa wamehangaisha mali, wamekula imeisha, wametembea huko nje, lakini wanarudi kwa ndanda zao, alafu wanaenda kutumia ile. Kwa hivyo tumeona boma nyingi ikisimamishwa na akina ndanda. Pia hata kwa boma zetu katika nyumbani, wakati wazee wamekosa pesa, wanatoroka, wanaenda kunywa pombe, wanaenda kunywa dawa ya kulevya, wanaenda kwa maandamano. Lakini unakuta shule nyingi wale akina ndanda wamewaswa na watoto, mama anaamka asubuhi, anaenda kutafuta pesa, anapeleka mtoto shule, anaenda ile pesa amembakisha, ananunua sabuni, ananunua kila kitu, na baadaye ikifika jioni, huyo mama ndio watoto ndio anaangalia mzee, ndio mambo ya chakula. Kwa hivyo mimi nikiwa senator wa Embu County ambaye ni Daktari Alexander Munyi Mondigi, mimi naunga mkono mjadala wa senator ambaye ameulete. tuweze kuangalia vile utakuwa na usawa wa ya mambo yote ambayo inahusikana akina mama na wazee. Kwa hivyo ningeomba hata sisi turudi manyumbani, tumepitisha mambo mengi, tukute hakuna mambo ya akina mama na hakuna mambo wakati unagaa mali, ukute hata watoto wetu wasichana, watoto wetu wanaume wanapatiwa vitu na njia ile inafaa. Ndio kwa sababu wakati huu si wakati kusema ati kama zamani kuna mambo ya akina mama na mambo ya wazee, ati mambo ya akina mama ni ukaa nyumbani. Kwa hivyo naomba Bwana Spika, hii mjadala ni muhimu sana. Hata tunajua kaunti zingine iko na mambo ati akina mama hawezi patiwa kitu yoyote ama hawezi kuchaguliwa ama kufanya kazi yoyote. Mjadala kama utaungwa mkono, itakuwa ni njia nzuri ya kuonyesha sisi kama vile Biblia, aidha ni mwanamke ama ni mzee ama ni watoto mchana ya kiume, mtoto wa kiume ama wa kike, tuko kitu kimoja. Kwa hiyo Bwana Spika, nikiwa senator wa Embu County, naunga hii mjadala na iendelee vizuri, na ningeomba county zote maseneta wote 66 wakuje wachangie mjadala, ndio tuweze kuona vile tutatembea vizuri, ndio tuinganishe kila kitu. Yangu tu ni kuomba hii mjadala wale wataisikia wasipinge, iweze kupita, ndio kila mtu awe anasikia ako sawa. Kwa sababu Bwana Spika, tukifika mambo ya misahara, kama ni njesi msahara ni moja, kama ni mwalimu msahara ni moja, kama ni senator msahara ni moja, kama ni kila kitu msahara ni moja. Tukifika hata kwa kazi, hakuna anasema ati huyu ni mama ama ni huyu ni ndugu ama ni nani. Kwa hivyo kama ni mambo ya gender balance, ningeomba akina mama waweze kupatiwa nguvu
muhimu wa kuweza kuwawezesha na kuwapa fursa viongozi kina mama na hata kina mama pale mashinani katika nyadhifa mbalimbali katika nchi yetu hii ya Kenya. Lakini kabla sijasonga mbele, Mheshimiwa Spika, nipende kumpongeza Seneta Veronica Maina kwa fikra hii nzuri na kuweza kuwawajibisha wale ambao wako katika ofisi mbalimbali katika nchi yetu hii ya Kenya kuweza kutii na kutekeleza yale ambayo katiba yetu tukufu imeweza kupeana mwelekeo kwayo. Mheshimiwa Spika, kabla niendelee zaidi, nipende kuwapa pongezi kina mama katika maeneo yote ya ulimwengu huu, hususan hapa kwetu Kenya. Kina mama ambao wanaamka asubuhi mapema kuenda kuchota maji, kutayarisha watoto wao ili waweze kwenda shuleni mapema. Kina mama ambao jioni wanawakaribisha mabwana zao, kuwatayarishia maji ya kuoga ili waweze kupumzika baada ya kazi nyingi. Wapongeza kina mama waheshimiwa. Jumla ya pilka za siasa mchana mzima kuweza kushughulikia taifa letu, bado wanaporudi nyumbani wanaweza kushughulikia majukumu yao kama wazazi. Mheshimiwa Spika, motion hii ni motion ya muhimu sana, nikizingatia ya kwamba kuna taasisi ambazo zimeweza kuwekwa kikatiba katika taifa letu la Kenya ili kuangazia na kuhakikisha ya kwamba gender mainstreaming inaweza kuwafikiwa. Nikiashiria taasisi kama ya NGEK ambayo ina fursa ya kuona ya kwamba katika asasi zote za taifa letu la Kenya, gender mainstreaming inaweza kufanyika. Lakini niweze kutoa changizo yangu kuongezea katika zile prayers, maombi ambayo Seneta Veronica Maina ameweza kuomba, ni kwamba ipo haja ya asasi ya NGEK kuweza kudevelop tools. Kwa mfano, wakati wa kupitishwa kwa mswada wa fedha wa kutenga bajeti, ipo haja ya kwamba ikiwa kuna wizara yoyote haijaweza kuwafiki katika kutekeleza masuala ya gender mainstreaming, basi waweze kunyimwa mgao wa fedha na waweze kuparalyze, kusimamisha maendeleo yoyote katika wizara hizo mpaka pale ambapo wataweza kutii na kutekeleza masuala ya gender mainstreaming. Bwana Spika, nikisongea mbele zaidi, nitake kuwapongeza na kuwapa moyo kina dada na kina mama wengi ambao wamejitokeza kuwania nyadhifa tofauti katika uchaguzi wa mwaka wa 2027, ya kwamba kujitokeza kwao ni ishara kamili ya kwamba viongozi kina mama kutoka kule mashinani wapo tayari kuliongoza hili taifa la Kenya. Basi hivyo sisi, kwa sababu tumewatangulia hapa, ni sharti kuwawekea mikakati ambao italainisha barabara yao wakati wamejitosa katika ulingo wa kisiasa. Bwana Spika, naweze kuizungumzia kwa uchache ripoti iliyotolewa na tume ya EACC kuhusiana na masuala ya corruption, hususan ikielekezwa katika jinsia ya kike. Ripoti hii ambayo ilizunduliwa tu siku chache zilizopita, ikiitwa kwa jina la Kenya National Gender and Corruption Survey 2025, ilionyesha, Bwana Spika, ya kwamba kina mama wingi wanaitishwa ngono ili waweze kupata huduma za kiserikali. Na katika ripoti hii, Bwana Spika, kumetajwa gatuzi kadha wa kadha ambazo tabia hii mbaya imekuwa ikiendelea. Na katika survey hii, Bwana Spika, tumeweza kuambiwa ya kwamba kina dada wengi, kina mama wengi wana hofu na hawajitokezi kikamilifu kuyakemea ama kuenda kuripoti katika vituo vya polisi ule unyanyasaji ambao unaendelea. Na ni kwa sababu hiyo ambayo naunga mkono motion hii ya dadangu Seneta Veronica Maina, ya kwamba ni wakati umefika, katiba inavyodai, katiba inavyoongoza, katiba inavyoashiria, ipo haja ya katiba hiyo kutekelezwa jinsi ilivyo. Na kwa sababu sisi ni viongozi wa kike hapa, tunawapa moyo na tunawapa hakikisho kina mama katika taifa hili la Kenya, ya kwamba kwa sababu kwa sasa sisi ndio wachache, jinsia ya kike ndiyo chache katika nyadhifa tofauti katika jamii yetu ya Kenya, basi tutasimama kidete, tutasimama kidedea kuhakikisha ya kwamba hatuombi, hatubembelezi, bali tunasukuma kutekelezwa kwa kama inavyopaswa. Asante Bwana Spika.
Asante sana Senator Miraj. Senator Mungatana.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to also make my contribution on this motion. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Senator Veronica Maina for the good work and the industry that she has put in to get this motion to where it is. Mr. Speaker, I want to say bias for women leadership, because I learned from the best. I learned from my own mother, who is departed now. But I remember when she was leading the YWCA in Tana River County, I would see my mother. She would take us when we visited, because we would visit during school holidays when she was at duty. And she would take us into very various villages, Mr. Speaker, where she was instrumental in starting many programs, very many programs, for support of the women. I used to watch her play games, and Mr. Speaker, that's how I picked up my seriousness in physical fitness, even at her age, and introduced that to other women. I saw leadership in my own mother. And Mr. Speaker, when I went first to seek for a parliamentary seat, all those women, Mr. Speaker, who used to work with my mother, they told me, don't campaign here. If you are the son of Martha and we can see your face, you don't need to campaign here. And Mr. Speaker, it was not normal those days for a first-time person to get a seat in Garsen. You had to keep failing before you get the seat. But I got it, Mr. Speaker, and retained it. So, Mr. Speaker, I am a believer in women leadership. And in this country, one of the top women that we have worked with is the Honorable Martha Karua. When I served in the Ministry of Justice, Mr. Speaker, we saw leadership in the Honorable Karua. And to date, I really, really respect the work she did as a Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Mr. Speaker, we must never forget people like the Honorable Charity Ngilu, who broke the ceiling for women. She ran for President of the Republic of Kenya. She came number 5, but Mr. Speaker, we will never forget that clarion call, Masani ya Ngilu, Masani ya Mama. That gave the women, you boys must also learn to cook and clean after yourselves, make tea, make ugali, make nyama, and everything else. There's not going to be a woman's job and a man's job in this family. And Mr. Speaker, I learned from a very young age to take care of myself because of the leadership of that mother of mine. Recently, Mr. Speaker, we were in Beijing on the United Democratic Party Alliance mission. And when we were there, one of the things that I learned is that in that country, women are paid allowance. For those who sit in the house to take care of the family, they are paid an allowance. And it is like a normal thing. You have to as you're working, you have to take care of your wife, you know, because what she does is something that keeps that family together, something that we need to consider in this country. And I don't know whether the Honorable Boni Khalwale will support me, because he'll have to split whatever he gets amongst very many spouses. I don't know whether he'll support that. But it's important for us to realize the contributions that our women make in this republic, in our families, in our workplaces. There is no doubt on the capacity and the capabilities of women. Mr. Speaker, recently I was driving from Meru coming down to Nairobi with my family. And somewhere in Mwea, I got some trouble with the vehicle I was having. And Mr. Speaker, I picked up the phone and called the Honorable Governor for Honorable Mheshimiwa for Embu. And Mheshimiwa Cecily Mbarire picked up and told me, oh, you know, Mwea is not quite in my area. I don't know why I thought it is in Embu, but I think it's because we pass through Embu. But we are in a function here with the Honorable Mheshimiwa for Kirinyaga, Mheshimiwa Anne Waiguru. And we are here in a function, so let me give her the phone so that they can do what they can. And Mr. Speaker, look at that. Women leadership. Mheshimiwa came out of the function, spoke to me, gave me the chief of staff who was with her, go and sort out Mheshimiwa. And Mr. Speaker, I am saying here in this floor of the House that women leaders are very capable and they will sort you out when you have issues. I'm not saying this with any whatever by comparison, but I called my colleague here, and I wish he was here, Mheshimiwa Mondiki. He wasn't there. He couldn't pick the phone or whatever. Maybe he was busy. But those are two governors who came out and made sure that myself and my family, we were taken care, even escorted, Mr. Speaker, all the way to Nairobi. Mr. Speaker, that tells you about women leadership. Even when we are looking at these reports in the Senate Public Accounts Committee, you will see, Mr. Speaker. Yeah? And I've said this many times. And one of my good friends who is a governor told me, oh, but I'm not that bad. I said, but most of the thugs, Mr. Speaker, are our male colleagues. Most of the criminals who have eaten a lot of public monies are our male colleagues. And some of them are so heartless and so merciless that they take money from the poor without a heart, Mr. Speaker. Without a heart. People like in Tana River, Mr. Speaker. Yani, you dare eat money for poor people like that, you know? So I have been telling even the women back home that you should contest these positions. There is no limitation, because we have seen where other women governors have done what they have been able to do, where they were elected, where the women were elected as members of parliament, what they have been able to do. Mr. Speaker, I went all out to campaign in the recent by-elections for the UDA candidate who was a female in Chewani Ward in Tana River County. And Mr. Speaker, we won that election because I told them the time has come for the women. And it is possible, Mr. Speaker, most of the voters in this country, truth be told, are women. If you don't have support of the women in your ward, the women in your constituency, the women in your county, the women in the country, you can't access these positions that are for elections because it's the women who actually do the heavy lifting. Outside this nation, Mr. Speaker, in the continent, we've had great presidents. Everybody still speaks about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and the leadership she gave to Liberia. Mr. Speaker, people, honorable members with whom we share the platform in the Pan-African Parliament, we still speak about her. We still speak about Joyce Banda and the time she led Zambia. Mr. Speaker, other non-executive heads of states, like the head of state for Ethiopia, the head of state for Algeria, we have seen extremely good leadership for women. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to assure our colleagues that we will not be making a mistake when we say we want to enforce the gender, one-third gender rule. We will not be making a mistake. I want to request all honorable members, we sit, maybe it is in the formulation of how we shall deal with these matters that the nitty-gritty that brings complications. But on appointed positions, it should be very, very easy. We should never have an issue. On appointed positions, one-third gender rule must be there. On elected positions, we need to tinker with the Constitution and tinker with our election laws so that political parties are forced to nominate candidates. If it is a male, the second one must be a female. This is something we need to think about so that then when we talk and we say we believe in our mothers, we believe in our sisters, our wives, we believe in our daughters, we believe in our daughters-in-laws, then, Mr. Speaker, we must be able to do it in law. Because what we have seen in Africa across the entire continent is that it's only in places where it has been put down to law, only in those places that gender parity has become effective. Where it has been left out like that in all the 55 countries in Africa, then you will still see the domination of the male gender over the female gender when it comes to political power. And maybe it is time that we think on how we will tinker with the laws. Kenya is rated very highly, obviously not as highly as you know, Rwanda. Rwanda is, I think, the highest in the continent in terms of the gender parity. But Kenya is rated highly because of the many women who are in position and also in the legislature. But we need to do more so that we can be able to say our words and actually make it happen. Mr. Speaker, with all those many remarks, I beg to support this motion and ask all colleagues to come all out to pass this motion. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Mungatana, for your contribution. I'll call upon Senator Mariam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity, Mr. Speaker. First of all, I have to appreciate our chair lady, Kewasa, that she came up with this motion. This is a very good motion, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this issue of gender mainstreaming, it once comes under one of ADCO report, but when it comes to implementations, it has been put aside. And later on, as a Kawasa, we drafted a bill. It has been up to leave it behind. And now our chair lady, our leader of Kewasa, come up with a motion, and this is a way to solve this issue of gender mainstreaming. Mr. Speaker, gender mainstreaming, I'm standing here as a women representations in Mandera County. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to legislative positions of women, Mr. Speaker, maybe if I give some compositions of women, Rwanda, which is 64%, that is 50-50 of women gender of elected members in the parliament. Cuba, that is 55.7%. That is roughly 7 countries in the world have reached 50-50 gender. When it comes to the lowest, the 3 countries have 0% of the women in their parliaments, and 10%, less than 10% is 21 countries. And Kenya's is between 0 and 10%. We are trying in this compared to some countries which is 0% countries. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to, let me go as lowest as MCAs in our country. Since 2013, in northern Kenya specifically, if I highlight, is 2013, it is a 0% elected members of parliament, and county assembly, women, no women. 2017, 2 women as MCAs elected. In 2022, 2 women elected, that is in Wajir County. Mr. Speaker, why am I going back to this trend history, Mr. Speaker, is because of how we were treated to be elected in the position of MCAs, that is the lowest, to the member of parliament senate or member of parliament. Mr. Speaker, when I am saying this as northern Kenya, Mr. Speaker, there is an issue of democracy, negotiation democracy, which parties and elders just sit down and they only see men to be having occupied these positions. In their scenario that these women cannot hold any positions, they are cannot even capable of to run, lead a community, Mr. Speaker. We have to now change their mind by giving them, to show them as women senators and women representative, that is women reps, to show that we can do more than men. That is exactly, Mr. Speaker, sometimes they even compare us as a member of parliament that we can do more than them. But when it comes to the cultural issues and changing elders, their mind, it is a bit difficult, but we are trying with the performance on how to change their mindset of our elders. And I urge the parties, ODM, UDA, as Senator Mugatana also alluded to give tickets to women as first, and second to give to men as the second one, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to this gender mainstreaming, there is an issue of the budget issue, both the national government and the county government. When it comes to funding of the departments of gender, Mr. Speaker, that is the lowest departments which are normally poorly funded. That's the issue. That is why the issue of gender-based violence normally cannot be solved, because even the grassroots, if you go to county, and the Department of Gender, they're saying they don't have budgets to take care of this, and so forth. Mr. Speaker, we have to address this issue of budgeting so that at least the department must take care and give 50-50 to all departments, comparing to other departments than the gender department. Mr. Speaker, there is an issue of also a gap. Specifically, there is a specific gap in health. There is maternal mortality rates, which is now, it's very high. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to this, the highest death of our women dying in a labor room, Mr. Speaker, and in that case, there is an issue of budgeting. Why? Because in our system, there is no database that show that there is this issue of women, which has one of the women death in Mandera and the other one in Turkana. Mr. Speaker, there is no database that can relate on these maternal issues, Mr. Speaker. So this issue of maternal and birthing system is because of the low budgeting that gave to the county, show that this is a minor department of health. There's no need of taking care of the women. That's why maybe they are taking as inferior, that we are dying most. So I urge county government and national government to take action on to reduce this maternal birth issue, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I was in Mandera last week, this week, Mr. Speaker, and we realized, Mr. Speaker, women are so kind. Most of this WhatsApp group they hold, they are doing it for just helping one another. Even they are helping men who are sick, men who cannot even take care of their families. They are the first forefront to do fundraising for them, for the neighbors, for any youth. So they are everywhere, for they are kind-hearted. And in that case, most of these can, because of their kind heart, they are kind-hearted, they are misusing women, Mr. Speaker, which end up their women to be a victim in GBVs, gender-based violence, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there's this issue of injustice, justice delay, justice deny, which the victims of gender-based violence are normally not sorted quickly, Mr. Speaker. If I investigated on all these issues, and the issue is most of them they are saying on budget issues. Let's take serious on this issue of budget so that at least this issue of women can be sorted quickly and forever, so that at least the community where women have, in fact, the community which women have the leadership can prosper, because she can go to grassroots and see who is needy and who is the person who can take care. She can take care for everyone, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the counties which are led by women counties, if you see the audit reports, most of those counties have a few issues which has been raised by the auditor report that show they are very keen and they are capable of their positions as a leader, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for this, I urge members who are in this room, here in the House, to take this motion seriously, and let's support this motion very well, so that it can go through and sort out this issue of mainstreaming. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Paris Tobiko.
Is it on? Oh, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity to contribute to this debate, Mr. Speaker, on mainstreaming gender issues, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me begin by congratulating Senator Veronica Maina for bringing this motion, Mr. Speaker, which comes at the right time. Mr. Speaker, this is definitely an exciting debate for members at this particular time. And Mr. Speaker, I think we need to reflect as a nation how far we have come in terms of gender mainstreaming, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when you critically analyze our social aspects as a nation, our cultural situation of various diverse Kenyan communities, our economic situation, Mr. Speaker, then you will be able to see the placement of both genders, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm talking about both genders because I always appreciate the fact that gender includes all, Mr. Speaker. But why people have specifically narrowed down to women whenever the issues of gender comes in, it's because there is a specific gender that has continuously been excluded, been ignored, been marginalized, Mr. Speaker, in various ways, Mr. Speaker, in the national discourse. Mr. Speaker, I even keep wondering whether it's really a gap in legislation, Mr. Speaker. Is it really a gap in legislation, Mr. Speaker? Because if we begin from the spirit of the 2010 Constitution, you realize, Mr. Speaker, that Kenyans aimed, wanted, desired gender parity, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Kenyan Constitution, Article 27, Article 81, and many other articles, Mr. Speaker, talk of inclusion and equality, respect of human rights, Mr. Speaker, regional balance, gender balance, and all that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and I still wonder whether we are paying lip service, to the aspect of gender parity and inclusiveness, Mr. Speaker. Because, Mr. Speaker, if this House, and when I say this House, I mean both houses of Parliament, have not addressed the issue of the 2/3 gender rule, then, Mr. Speaker, I will personally say it's a breach of the Constitution.
So if we can begin from there, there is a breach of the Constitution. Kenyans were very clear that they wanted a 2/3 gender representation in the country, in the legislative houses, in county assemblies, in the Senate, in the National Assembly. But we have been unable, even after various court intervention and rulings, we've been unable to address that. Mr. Speaker, women contribute in the various aspects of life of this nation, starting from the family, Mr. Speaker. You cannot imagine today a home without the role of a woman, a mother. There are many women-headed households in this country, Mr. Speaker, and even where the women are not heading those households, Mr. Speaker, they prepare everybody for the day-to-day issues of life, starting from the morning, preparing everybody and working for the good of everybody so that everybody can go to school, can go to work, prepare their husbands, prepare their sons and daughters, Mr. Speaker. And when the contribution has not been measured, Mr. Speaker, when contribution has not been measured, then, Mr. Speaker, you cannot even begin to imagine whether we are talking about equality or talking about, Mr. Speaker, addressing these issues, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, I would want to say that we have a long way to go as Kenyans. But I would also say, Mr. Speaker, particularly when it comes to leadership, women must come out, must take a lead role, must be proactive in presenting themselves to the electorates of this country so that we give Kenyans a fair chance to either elect or not to elect women, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have said on the floor of this House, and I can proudly repeat the same, that, Mr. Speaker, I am very proud of the Maasai community where I come from. Because, Mr. Speaker, whereas the rest of Kenyans perceive the Maasai community as very conservative, but the Maasai community has proved itself very respectful of both genders. The Maasai community, Mr. Speaker, and this is on record, has now continuously increased the number of elected women in competitive elective seats, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have always mentioned that the Samburu people in Samburu West have elected Naisula Lesuda as their constituency holder. And Laikipia North have elected Sarah Lekorere as their constituency MP. And Mr. Speaker, the Narok people of the people of Narok North, the seat that was held by the Maasai kingpin, Mzee Olentimama, today, I think this should be documented. That seat is occupied by a lady, Agnes Pareyo, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am also privileged to have been elected in a competitive elective seat, constituency seat twice, 10 years. And Mr. Speaker, they didn't elect me. They didn't fail to elect me. I am the one who got a bigger vision and wanted to represent them at a a more senior capacity, Mr. Speaker, and I went to contest for the seat of governor. But I got elected as Member of Parliament for Kajiado East for 10 years, Mr. Speaker. And today, I know the people of Kajiado are ready to elect me as a woman governor, Mr. Speaker. And the Kenyan community has shown that you know, they continuously elect women governors. Today, at least on the 2022 general elections, 7 women were elected as governors. Even if one has been haunted out of the office, Mr. Speaker, for flimsy reasons, Mr. Speaker, I would still say the people of Kenya elected 7 women governors, Mr. Speaker. And Kenyan women continue to hold very crucial roles. The Chief Justice today is a woman. The Attorney General is a woman. The Deputy CJ is a woman, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, the Kenyan society is ready for women leadership. Mr. Speaker, let me also talk about budgeting. If we are serious, Mr. Speaker, we must then pass budgets that are gender responsive. We must also involve technical expertise on gender issues, Mr. Speaker, so that our progress is well guided, Mr. Speaker, with the technical know-how, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me say, because I can see time is moving, that Kenyans are ready to elect women in all elective seats. Mr. Speaker, let me also say that the Kenyan society has no problems with women. The only thing we need to is that for policymakers, for those who are executing and implementing, they must be true to the spirit of the Kenyan Constitution and to the spirit of the Kenyan people. And so, Mr. Speaker, I do support this motion. Mr. Speaker, I don't know why I'm being pushed, because I still see I have some 2-3 minutes for my time. And so kindly allow me to execute my position, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when I talk about the gender responsive budgeting, you also realize that women are the small traders. And Mr. Speaker, they hardly receive credit advanced to them because of not having, collaterals like title deeds. Yet women are very good payers. They are faithful in paying back their loans, Mr. Speaker. And so they need to be considered in accessing, subsidies, in accessing credit advanced, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we need to, every institution, every ministry, every department in both national and county governments must be able to give regular updates and reports on the implementation of mainstreaming the gender policies, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me say I support, and Mr. Speaker, for obvious reasons, I would request that the question is deferred, Mr. Speaker, to a later date. The debate is deferred to a later date, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Senator Paris, I believe that you're seeking to defer further debate of this motion to a further date?
Yes, on what?
That is understanding order 110.
Yes, understanding order 110.
To adjourn further debate on this motion.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, to adjourn further debate on the basis of standing order 110. Thank you. I request Senator Veronica to second.
Senator Veronica.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity, and I want to thank my sister, Senator Perry Strobiko, for what she has contributed, and I want to second the motion she has moved for the further debate to be postponed to a future date, maybe tomorrow, Honorable Speaker, in view of the fact that this is a very important motion. And there are many, many senators and members of Kenya Women Senators also who would wish to contribute to this debate. And in view of the fact that Parliament has really struggled with compliance on gender matters, Honorable Speaker, I would urge you to allow this motion to be, the debate of this motion to be postponed to a further date. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I hereby second the motion for deferment of debate.
Thank you, Senator Veronica. Pursuant, Honorable Senators, to the provisions of Standing Order 110.3, I find that this motion to postpone further debate is not an abuse of the proceedings of this House, and I will therefore proceed to put the question that the debate, or rather further debate on this motion, be postponed to a later date. And may of those opinions say aye. Aye. May of those contrary opinions say nay. The ayes have it. So, Honorable Senators, debate on this particular motion is hereby postponed to a further date. I shall be placed in the order paper. Clerk, you may now call the next order.
Order number 25, motion. Report of the Standing Committee on Health on a petition to the Senate by the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers regarding alleged discrimination, interference, and violation of clinical officers' practice rights by the Ministry of Health, the Council of Governors, and the Social Health Authority.
Honorable Senators, I'll call upon the Chairperson, Standing Committee on Health, to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the Senate adopt I beg to move the reports of the Standing Committee on Health on the petition to the Senate by the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers regarding alleged discriminations, interference, and violation of the clinical officers' practice rights by the Ministry of Health and the Council of the Governors and the SHA Authority. Mr. Speaker, the petition by Kuso raised a weighty question touching on the health system, labor relations, the health workforce governance, and access to the service. In particular, the petitioner complained of alleged discrimination against clinical officers in implementation of the SHA framework, non-implementation of labor agreements, delay in internship posting, unfair terms of the UHC staff, and failure by the county government to adopt the approved career guidelines for the clinical officers. Mr. Speaker, the prayer, which has been sorted among other interventions, the end to the exclusion of the clinical officer from empowerment process, full implementation of the return to the work agreements, posting of the all clinical officers due for internship with harmonized payments, and immediate conversion of UHC staff to the PP permanent and pensionable term. Mr. Speaker, in the discharge of its mandate, committee held 4 meetings and received the information and written submission from the petitioners, the Minister of Education, the Minister of Health rather, the Council of Governors, the Public Service Commissions, and other related stakeholders. The committee then analyzed the submissions and prepared the reports before this House. Mr. Speaker, on the committee, on the important issues that rose at the outset was a pair of sub judice. The Ministry of Health informed the committee that some of the issues raised in the petition were also sub judice. Petition number 31 of 2025 before the High Court. Therefore, invited the committee to refrain from the inquiry on these matters. The committee carefully addressed that objections. The reports clearly noted that the sub judice rule exists to protect the integrity of ongoing the court proceedings and to uphold the separation of power, but it also requires persistent assessment of what is actually before the courts and what remain available for the parliamentary oversight. Upon the consideration the scope of the court's cases, the committee found that the issue of empowerment by the Shah was indeed the subject of the active judicial proceeding. However, the matter concerning the implementation of the return to work agreement, posting of the interns, and the conversion of the UHC staff into the permanent and pensionable position fell outside the court's active consideration, therefore remain open to the parliamentary scrutiny. The committee inquired confirmed that the central place of the central place of the clinical officers within the Kenya health system. The report notes that the clinical officers are often the first and in many places only the point of the contacts for the patients, especially in the rural and understaffed areas. And they provide diagnosed treatments, minor surgical procedures, and a long-term disease management. The committee further found that the grievance presented by the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers did not raise the overnight. They reflected the prolonged patterns of industrial disputes, delayed negotiations, incomplete implementation of agreements, uncertainty over the term of the service that has been persistent across both national and the county's government. The evidence before the committee showed that 99 days strikes in 2024 rather, ends with a court's immediate return to the work formula that required the movement toward the conclusion of the collective bargaining agreements, but the implementation delay continued. The report further, the committee further report that another national wide crisis emerged in the late 2025, earlier 2026, before the fresh return to work agreement was signed in 28 January 2026, and comprehensive CBA was actually signed in February 2026. Eventually, even then, the committee observed that the approval and the court's registration process remain inconsistent and delayed. That find it important because labor agreements in the health sectors are not abstracted documents. Delay implementation directly affect the moral retentions, service delivery, and industrial harmony. Mr. Speaker, the issue of the internship posting was equally serious. The committee required the evidence that the internship is not optional. It is a legal and professional prerequisite for the licensing and independent practice, and delay in posting the qualified interns inevitably delay the entry into the service and weaken the staffing across the health facilities. The committee specifically noted that the large cohorts of qualified clinical officers remain pending posting for the internship, and that KUSO informed the committee that 5,433 practitioners were awaiting internship placements. In the country, striving to the strengthening primary health care and universal health coverage. Such delay presents both labor injustice and the service delivery gaps. On the question of the UHC staff, the committee found a long-standing implementation problem that has not been resolved with the agency, and it deserves. The reports record that 9,724 health workers were recruited under UHC program in April 2020 on the contractual terms, and that the transitions to the permanent and pensionable employment has since been slow by physical constraints, verification exercise, and bureaucratic and bottlenecks and disputes between the national and the county government. Mr. Speaker, this one has been solved last with the BPS. The committee also noted that the national coordinating submits and approval 3 years extensions and directed the development of the transition of the framework, while the Council of the Governors had resolved to transit the salaries to SRC prescribed rates effective from 1st of September 2025. Even so, the promised regularization of the employment status remain incomplete, thereby prolonging insecurity among the staffs who are already serving within the health facility. The committee observed therefore measured the evidence-based and practical. The committee collected refrains from pronouncing itself on SHA employment issues because that question is before the courts. Mr. Speaker, secondly, it found demonstrable delay and inconsistency in the approval and registration of the return to work formula, March 2025, memorandum of understanding on January 2026, return to the work agreement and comprehensive CBA. Thirdly, it found that the delay posting of the qualifying interns was undermining the timely entries into the practice and weakening the optimal staffing of the health facilities. Fourthly, it found that the absorption of UHC into the PMP term continued to be frustrated by the intergovernmental pediments. Finally, the committee noted that in the approval of the budget's policy statement 2026, it is proposed that 8.94 billion included in the equitable share for financial year 2026-2027 to support the transition of UHC health workers into the permanent and pensionable terms, and to pay gratitude with a distribution based on the number of the workers in each counties. The recommendation of the committee flows from this observation and deserve the support of this House, and they are not punitive, and they are corrective and implementable and time-bound. The first recommendations require the Cabinet Minister, Cabinet Secretary for Health, and the Chairman of the County Council of Governors and the County Public Service Board to develop and file with the Senate within 30 days of adoption of this report the consolidated implementation matrix for the return to work agreement and CBA. That matrix is to be identify actions, responsible officers, and milestone for the salary structure, arrears, allowance, and it is to be followed by the quarterly progress reports to the Senate. The second one, The recommendation is particularly important because one of the recurring weaknesses in the public sector labor relations is an absence of the agreement implementation dishonored. That agreement implementation dashboard. By requiring the time-bound matrix and regular report, the committee has given a Senate a practical oversight in instruments rather than mere declaratory resolution. The second recommendation directing the Ministry of Health and the Council of the Governors in consultation with the CUS to develop and circulate within 60 days standardized human resource for health deployments guidelines covering the internship, permanent and pensionable adoptions, permanent and pensionable absorptions and transfers. That recommendation addressed the structural gap in the workforce planning and should reduce uneven practice across the countries. The recommendation calls upon the Ministry of Health, the county government to fast-track the establishments and the requirements, the establishment and recruitment and appointment process required to integrate all the duly verified UHC and Global Fund staff into the approved county staff structure in a full constitutional and statutory compliance. It also requires the Council of Governors to urgently conclude the binding intergovernmental agreement with the national government to secure full and timely financing of the resulting wage bill and including and pending arrears. The fourth recommendation is equally subsequently, and it urged the National Treasury to reinforce the proposed 8.94 billion for UHC conversion in the financial year 2026-2027, ensure timely reimbursements to the counties, and put in place a safeguard against diversions or reallocations while requiring the settlement of outstanding gratitude arrears within the first quarter of that financial year. Mr. Speaker, this recommendation speaks to the wider governance problem that this Senate must remain alert to. Devolution assignment.
Senator Mariam, I did not want to interject while you are proceeding, but please note the sir left the seat and now it's Madam Speaker.
Sorry for that. Madam Speaker, the recommendations speak to the wide governance problem that this Senate must remain alert to. Devolution assigned counties central roles in the health service delivery, but efficient management of the human resource for the health still require the structural cooperations between the national government and the county government and independent commissions and the professional bodies. Madam Speaker, where such coordination fails, the effects are immediate and severe. Industrial unrest depend and training personnel remain underutilized. The country facilities become understaffed, and the patient bear the burden through the delays and disrupting the care services. This is why this report is not merely about one cadre of the health workers. It is about reliability, fairness, and stability of the public health system. As Madam Speaker, the Senate as protector of the county interests and as the House charged with the oversight on the matters affecting the counties should therefore adopt this report so that the recommendation acquire authorities of the resolution of the House resolution of the House and saw that the relevant institutions are placed under a clear obligation to account for the implementation. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, on that, Madam Speaker, we need this report, this recommendation to be done, to be implemented after the report has been tabled, and it must be, because this will affect the service delivery of our city, our people. Madam Speaker, with that, the committee appreciates the participation of the petitioners and all stakeholders who made the submission during the inquiry, and these engagements enable the committee to distinguish between whether the proper than the courts and matters that require the urgent parliamentary intervention. Madam Speaker, with the time, I beg to request the Senator Cherargei to second. Thank you.
Senator Cherargei, you can proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I want to applaud the distinguished Vice Chairperson of Health Committee, Senator Sheikh Omar, for ably moving the motion, especially on the reporting of the petition by Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, or called KUCO. Madam Speaker, coincidentally, I'm the one who presented the petition, so it's an honor and privilege that I have to second this report that has been moved by the Vice Chairperson of Health. Madam Speaker, let me make the following opening remarks. It is critical as the players of devolution. The success or failure of devolution will be the only yardstick, Madam Speaker, will be the success or failure of health committee, of health function in our counties. Madam Speaker, I know you next, after 2027, you want to be among the people who will continue protecting devolution in this country. And we wish you well. As the protectors of devolution, and I've always insisted, if you want to see whether devolution is working or not, just look at the health function. Because the health function, Madam Speaker, affects up to local person in the village. And despite that, more than 4 trillion Kenya shillings have been allocated to counties from 2013 to date, one of the most deplorable, the most service that is not provided, Madam Speaker, is health. Madam Speaker, I had the privilege together with the health committee to host them in my county. I visited Kericho County Referral Hospital. We went to Meteite Sub-County Level 4 Hospital. We went to Nandi Hills Level 4 Sub-County Hospital. We went to Kapsabet County Referral Hospital. And there is one common denominator. Apart from understaffing, demoralized, there is a factor of untidiness and deplorable, pathetic cleanliness within our counties, Madam. But one thing stuck out in and it is across the country, is that clinical officers are the only saviors in most of our health facilities. Madam Speaker, you have to know the history of clinical officers in this country. When it was started by Moi government, it was noble and it has continued to provide quality health services. And therefore, the failure of empowerment of them by the Social Health Authority and the Ministry of Health and county governments is very unfortunate, Madam Speaker. And I'm happy the committee has agreed with the petition from Kenya Union Council of Clinical Officers, Madam Speaker, in the right direction. And I hope, as the committee has proposed, by the 30 days on the debate and adoption of this report, Madam Speaker, we must implement the recommendations that have been made to the letter by the Committee of the Health, Madam Speaker. And I believe, and I want to believe, just the way some of us are Christians, the way the Bible encourages us not even to change a comma. In this report, we should not change a comma, Madam Speaker. The clinical officers are the ones making our health facilities function. When nurses are not there, When, because, Madam Speaker, you have to know the training of a doctor, and even getting doctors in some of the health facilities is hard, because their training and hiring is very costly, Madam Speaker. So the people who treat us, even some of us who grew up in the village, we call clinical officers daktari. Yes, they are doctors. But they are the saviors of most of our facilities, Madam Speaker. And they treated us very well. And you have to appreciate there are more than 30,000 clinical officers across the country, Madam Speaker. And most of them are specialists that we rely in our hospitals, Madam Speaker. Include anesthesia, reproductive health, pediatricians, ophthalmologists, oncology, nephrology, ENT, Madam Speaker, among others, and even cataract surgery, orthopedics and trauma, among others, where they are specialists, Madam Speaker, as clinical officers. So the fact that there were discrimination in empowerment, and this is where this petition rests, Madam Speaker, is very important, that the Social Health Authority, which is working by the, and Madam Speaker, I want to confirm before the House, I know the CS of Health might appear tomorrow during question time. And I'm happy that every referral hospital we went, be it Kericho and others in Nandi, Social Health Authority is working. And you know, in level 5, they are giving up to per day to a patient 3,920. Madam Speaker, Social Health Authority is working, but the governors are the one failing this country. Because when you go and get treated, there are no drugs in hospitals. So people go and buy drugs outside in pharmacies, and that is when now people say SHA is not working. Because governors have failed to provide drugs. We went to Nandi. They brought drugs midnight. Some of them were empty boxes, Madam Speaker. And we saw in Kericho, Madam Speaker, a patient SHA had fully paid for them. So while we appreciate SHA to work, it is the failure on the part of governors. And it is not only governors, all of them, including Muranga Governor, Madam Speaker, including Wajir, where the COG chair comes from, Madam Speaker. The SHA is working, but there is no drugs in hospital, Madam Speaker. It is working. Another issue, because these are clinical officers' reports and they do prescription, they treat our people, and that is why we think SHA, for SHA to be efficient, the empowerment of clinical officers, which this petition rests on, and as proposed by Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, KUKO, they must be empaneled for efficiency and profit. Madam Speaker, you are one of the senior lawyers of this country. You are an SG emeritus of a ruling party, United Democratic Alliance, Madam Speaker. I have seen our current SGs coming under barrage of attacks from, especially, I saw my colleagues from ODM trying to direct how UDA should operate. But I want to advise them, Madam Speaker, because you have been an SG, to keep off UDA matters. We'll handle our UDA matters as it should be, Madam Speaker. As a lawyer in this country, Article 43 is very clear that health is a right. It's a basic human right. That is why Kenya and the Kenyan Constitution have a progressive Bill of Rights. For that to be effective, Madam Speaker, for that to be fair, Madam Speaker, to the country, you must appreciate that, Madam Speaker, that we must empanel clinical officers. When you go to dispensaries, you go to level 2, level 3, there are no doctors up to level even 4. The people we rely are clinical officers. They treat our grandmothers. They treat our mothers in the village. They are the CEOs, clinical officers, Madam Speaker. So this empowerment, and I think it offends Article 27, Madam Speaker, on the issue of discrimination. Because, Madam Speaker, the basic human rights of access to affordable, quality health care is a basic human right of every Kenyan. And I think, Madam Speaker, the drafters of the Constitution and Kenyans who gave themselves this Constitution made sure that access to medical care includes qualified, competent, and clinical officers and health practitioners, Madam Speaker. So I want to appreciate the findings of the committee on the issue of Madam Speaker, and even there were over 1,000 facilities denied empanelment and contracting. Madam Speaker, you have to appreciate, and Kenyans should know this, that 1,000 facilities had empanelment of clinical officers under the defunct national NHIF, National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF, Madam Speaker. It is not something new. Kenyans should not understand, Madam Speaker, so that I'm bringing up to speed, or anybody who is watching these proceedings, Madam Speaker. 1,000 facilities are the ones who provided this empanelment, Madam Speaker. And therefore, it is very critical, Madam Speaker, that the clinical officers must and should be empaneled as by the SHA. Otherwise, it will be discriminatory, Madam Speaker. While SHA, Madam Speaker, I noticed something about SHA also. They are rejected claims, and I hope the CS will address tomorrow, is I went to Kericho, Madam Speaker. When they were processing billing and release of patients, I noticed that there are so many rejections from SHA. And some of the reasons, by the way, I think SHA also needs to be very careful when they are rejecting, because, Madam Speaker, when I asked a clinical officer when they were processing, they had sent all the details, including birth certificates, Madam Speaker, that the SHA did reject without following the proper procedure, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Senators, it's now 6:30 p.m. time to adjourn the Senate. And Senator Chiradige, you'll have a balance of 10 minutes when we next resume Senate and this motion is called. So the Senate therefore now stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 22nd April 2026 at 9:30 a.m. Thank you.